So now, for the first one, we know the cars are averaging 71. The reason I bring this up is because I take Archie Briggs Road for my commute almost every day. And the speed limit used to be 25. We'll say it again?
This one we just did?
In 244, we mentioned it. We've actually analyzed the speeds on Archie Briggs. But this is what motivated this study in 243, was sometimes speed limits are raised, and I don't know why. Archie Briggs used to be 25, now it's 30. I don't think that's a good idea. That road twists, turns, it's north-facing, it gets covered in ice sometimes. A day like today, it's going to be sketchball. I don't think going faster is the right idea. So here's the question. If the speed limit's 65, and cars are averaging 71, that tells us something about the behavior of the percentage of cars. My question on the quiz was, what percent are speeding? And all that means is going faster than 65. So, do you see that 65 is to the left of 71? Which ones are speeding? Exactly. Anybody here is speeding, going up, technically speaking, infinitely. That's what you got to find. Now, is it forwards or is it backwards? Definitely forwards. Tell me why it's forwards. Good! Because at the end of the day, I need to know that area, which is I got to know a z-score. So but I can get the z-score, can't I, from this 65. All it's a matter of doing is converting that 65 down to a z-score. And we got that beautiful little formula. I'll put it up here in the corner for us to play with. And Andrea, you asked an awesome question earlier. I loved it. Why don't you just write the damn program to let me put the formula into? And this is the one time you'll hear me say something. Well, I say this a couple times, actually. Pedagogically, those of you making the jump to 244, we use this constantly. At least we refer to it constantly.
He's going to go through it.
I want you to get used to seeing it and using it so that when you get to 244, it becomes more second nature. Then we start making it be automated almost every day. But at least for the transition period, it makes sense to use this because it happens so close to the end of 243. Fair enough? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's do the conversion. We got a 65 minus the average of 71. Plus,
65 minus 71.
8, thank you, Kevin. Over 8, plus or minus of 8. That ends up being negative 6/8, which I saw this number on quite a few of your quizzes, negative 0.75. That, in and of itself, is not a percentage or an area. I know it looks like one. It looks like a percentage, it looks like an area. It's neither of those two things. It's simply a marker on a ruler. It's a marker on a ruler. You're now on a different ruler, the ruler that has 0 in the middle, and it's got 1 and negative 1, and it's got 2 and negative 2, and all this did was it got you off of the ruler here and got you onto the ruler here. And that ruler measurement is negative 0.75. That ruler measure cuts the curve into the area above it and the area below it, and that's what I asked you to find. What area is above that ruler measure? Is that fair? Mm-hmm. That's fair, hopefully. Good. All right, let's do it. Was that a woohoo from the next room? That made me happy. Let's do it. Wahoo! Forwards, yes. Focus, please. Put it right on top so we can make it shaded. Forward, to the right, starting at negative 0.75. Here it comes. Not bad. Not bad. So we end up with
0.7734.
Yes, ma'am. That is an area. And just to make sure you know that, I put the word area in there, which is good. That means 77.34%. Roughly 3 in 4 cars are going above the speed limit. Now, some people are going to argue, I've got to argue, occasionally get arguments, yeah, but you're not going to get a ticket for going 66 or 67. I don't know. You might not. Depends on the end of the month, near the beginning of the month, is the budget low this month. It depends on a lot of things. All I know is 77% of cars are going above 65, which means 23% are going below 65. Is that fair? Yep. You guys buy that logic? Boom! So you see the series of steps. Take the X score, convert it to a Z score, from the Z score get an area. X, Z, area. Boom, done. Mm-hmm. Fair?
Yep.
Guess what the backwards problem is going to be?
The inverse of that.
Oh. If you would preface that with, Sean, you're exactly right, and it's the inverse of that, make me even happier.
Oh, said it made my day.
Exactly, it's the inverse. You do it's like taking Legos apart versus putting them together. You have to do backwards operations in reverse order. So all we've got to do for the next problem, now did you catch why the next problem is a backwards problem? Because I told you I want to change the speed limit, but I don't know what the speed limit is.
Right, with the new speed limit.
Right, but the new speed limit, what condition do I want the new speed limit to enable?
Only 15% of vehicles will exceed.
I want 15% of vehicles exceeding it. So I've got a goal in mind. I only want 15% of the vehicles to exceed it. Now you can see how this would backfire potentially, but mathematically it's not going to backfire. Let's move over to this curve over here. Because we're assuming they're going to keep going 71, which might not happen, right? Andrew's going to say, well, if we're going to raise the speed limit, I think the average is going to go up too, maybe. Although there's some interesting psychological research into that. Remember when Montana got rid of their speed limit a few years ago? There was a stretch of I-90, I want to say, in Montana that they took the speed limit away and then promptly brought it back not that long after that, because people started realizing that going really fast on Montana highways isn't the greatest thing. I think they were trying to model it after the Autobahn in Germany, which has never had a speed limit. It's also built by Germans, which means it's built really well. You could land very large airplanes on the Autobahn and it wouldn't damage the tread. I don't know who built the interstate highway system in this country or who maintains it, better question. But I don't think I want to be going 85, 90 miles an hour in our little diesel Jeep down a stretch of 95. Idaho, right now, there's a stretch of I-15 that's 80 miles an hour. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour. Is anybody good on that? Since they changed it, it was 75, they bumped it up to 80. It is friggin' terrifying. The difference between 75 and 80 in our Jeep, it sounds like it's rattling apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine that's going to come back to 75, if not down to 70. It's just going too fast in a car. Especially if you're pulling something like a trailer or you're driving an RV. So I'm with you, Andrea, in that I think if you raise the speed limit, you're also going to raise the average speed. It might be negligible because if you get going too fast, people might self-prevent themselves from going any faster. I don't know. We have to wait and see, I guess, to see. So the average is still going to be 71, but I want to jack the speed limit up so that only 15% are speeding. The speed limit is currently here. Where's it going to need to be?
To the right.
To the right. 50.
Is this right enough? Should I make it 71? If I make it 71, what percent are going to be speeding?
None.
Zero.
Half of them. Half of them, because half are going faster than 71.
Yeah.
So somewhere over here is a speed limit, which I don't know. And I know, however, this is going to be 15%. That's what I know. Or that's what I hope anyway. My question is, what is that there? So I know the area, that's why it's a backwards problem. Working backwards from that, we can convert that to a z-score, which, have you guys done that? What does it end up being? Perfect. Positive, correct? Positive 1.04.
Yep.
Why is it positive again, friends? Because we're on the right side of zero. We're above the average now. We're going to have to raise it above 71 if we only want a minuscule amount of them to be speeding. Beautiful. So we know the z-score is 1.04. Now it's just a matter of converting. Back to Kevin's formula. 1.04 x minus 71 over 8. Reverse engine about 79, it looks like. Make it 79 miles an hour, which will probably make it 80, because who's going to put 79 on a speed limit sign? Make it 80, and then make sure your budget's high enough to make the signs again the following year when people are starting speeding and they're starting to go 75 and 76 and 77 on average.
That's one of the reasons why they changed it all in the first place. It wasn't just because of the gas, it was because of...
Oh, I thought it was just gas. I thought the whole 55 speed limit was due to the gas price back in the 70s.
Yeah, but then they brought it up and then they brought it back down because there were too many accidents.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Lots of factors, right?
Yeah.
The reason I bring this up with Archie Briggs is that road is so twisty turny. I
Can't get
think
out of my program.
going faster on it is not a good idea. Just because people are doing it doesn't necessarily mean you should make it illegal. Now, what they have done recently, you may have noticed on Archie Briggs, they've got one of those little cool blinker signs up now that as you go by, it tells you how fast you're going, which I think is a wonderful preventative. Because and notice how they stay off until you go by, well, not go by, but they stay off until you're about 150, 200 feet away, and then it pops on to let you know how you're going. And if you're going too fast, it blinks your speed at you. It's wonderful for ADD people on bicycles. So, very, very nice indeed, ways of controlling those speeds. I just wonder now, long term, what effect it's going to have. 244 stuff for next term, I guess. Cool? Feeling good? All right, make a pile up here. We'll count those against your quizzes. Let's make Thursday a work day. Bring your exams, you want to work on it? The day is yours to do whatever you want to do on that day. Sound good? Yeah. It doesn't. I don't think it makes any sense to rush to get a whole bunch of other stuff in. Let's just make Thursday a work day.
Cool.
Yes, of course, Jay, of course. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, I will.
What does it mean, X equals 7?
Badass system.
What are you doing? What are you doing tomorrow?
2 papers due. My God, I'm sorry. Sorry.
We put 2 up.
Oh, yes, Linda, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sandra.
I usually do it pretty good, I forgot. Oh, great. No, I don't.
It's all good.
You'll have it on Thursday.
I just want to make sure.
We're gonna pile on my desk. We'll have it back on Thursday. Yep.
All right, there you go.
Pile on my desk.
Okay, so now I can still do the thing with the exam.
Yes. Just wait
I got
until
scrap paper, that's the.
we-
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
You're great. I love it. I love watching that go up. It makes me happy because I remember now. And I think I told you. I may have not, but I love it when students tell me that first thing. Because they're going to be successful. Did I tell you that? I may not have. I did. I just know. It's your personality.
I guess I'm in my
Because I know
teacher
you
happy
work with
today.
you do. It's just so much fun to watch it. And then when you start getting those,
Thank you, sweetie, for your, you know, I get froze up in class.
yeah,
When I'm at home and I'm just doing my math, I forget everything. Yeah. It's like when he asked me what I had said, I was just like, I just went total blank. I know. I'm just like, yeah, I did not remember.
Sometimes to take a different time in your life when it makes more sense. 30 seconds off.
If I use the restroom for this.
Me too.
Howdy. Welcome.
So I sent you an email that says, I guess I
That's
fine.
right.
I think I must have attached my last quiz, the arm clock under the wrong name or something like
Fran told me a couple people did that. So you, I mean, put it in the wrong quiz
I
spot.
guess.
So I said I should owe you a 10 somewhere else. Not a problem. Fix it when I get back this afternoon.
Cool, thanks.
Not a problem.
And they care where it comes from.
You guys rock.
I was very confident.
That is, I think Aaron left those here yesterday. And a whole bunch of papers. So you can. Yeah, that looks like. That's actually from last period or last class. So you're solid. You guys are good.
So, we already turned in 10, so this will just, how's that work?
It's going to pad your grade.
Okay.
Essentially,